Okay, thank you very much for joining us again. What we're going to cover right now is an introduction to DranXperT. Now, DranXperT is a fairly new power and energy logger plus PQ detector from Dranitz, introduced around the fall of last year. And we also did some updates in the early spring of 2021. So again, what is DranXperT? It's a portable, low-cost power logger, but it does have PQ detection capabilities. So it's in some part, it's an entry-level PQ meter as well. It is a Dranitz, so we have to throw power quality in here somewhere, although the focus is on very accurate three-phase bidirectional power and energy logging. And we'll cover the applications towards the end of the presentation, but it is also a PQ detector. It actually has half-cycle resolution to identify and record common PQ issues such as dips / sags and swells. Okay, so when the voltage goes up, the voltage goes down. As you can see from this picture here on the right, this is a power quality dip that occurred, and its resolution is to a half a cycle. This does not record transients. It does not record individual harmonics. So it is very basic in its PQ capabilities, but it can record basic power quality issues. If you find them, more than likely you're going to have to pull out one of our HDPQ family products, a Visa, HDPQ Visa, Guide, or Explorer, to go actually get to the root cause of this. So that's why we identify this as a PQ detector. But again, its main focus and the main reason for being purchased is the energy and power monitoring. And as an example, you can see about a week or more long trend of demand over here. So these are some of the applications that will be very, very common for DranXperT. So what are the main features and benefits? There's certainly a lot of capabilities in this product for a fairly low cost, but primarily it is a power and energy logger. It has 3 voltage channels. It measures directly up to 600 volts RMS Cat 3. If your application does go beyond 600 volts, just like any meter, you're going to have to put a PT or a divider or something in front of it to step it down so you can safely measure something within the 0 to 600 volt range. DranXperT does have 4 current channels. It has an industry standard 333 millivolt input that is directly compatible with flex and clip CTs available from Dranitz. And we'll show you pictures and configurations of those in a few minutes. Or you do have the option to bring your own CT. We would certainly prefer UL listed. This is a UL listed product in the United States, as well as CE approved for international use. But you can certainly bring your own CT if for whatever reason our CTs don't apply to your application, or maybe you already have a CT, you can configure it for use with DranXperT. However, it does have to be compatible with the 333 millivolt voltage inputs for the current channels. So what does DranXperT measure? Measures the common power parameters that we're used to seeing: volts, amps, watts, VA, VAR, power factor, demand and energy, and much more. It includes THD, forward energy, reverse energy, demand energy, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, as we mentioned before, this is also a PQ disturbance detector. It does follow very similar techniques as our more advanced products that fully support 61000-4-30. Just as a note, this is not a Class A device. We're not even categorizing it as a Class S device for 61000-4-30. However, it does follow the measurement techniques of 61000-4-30, primarily having a resolution for dips and swells down to 1/2 cycle. It also follows the methodology for IEEE 519 and 61000-4-7 for harmonic measurements. We are not claiming compliance to these standards, but overall it follows the same methodology, okay, for your harmonic measurements. Now, again, major features and benefits. This is an Ethernet-based device. We'll talk about communications in a little while, and it does have a web browser-based capability. Its primary user interface to configure DranXperT, to view real-time metering and to extract data is Ethernet-based, and it is web browser-based. So you can have your choice of web browser operating on your choice of platform. In other words, you can operate it on a PC, a laptop, a smartphone, as you see over here. This can be any web browser on an Android or an iPhone or Apple-based smartphone or any other kind of lesser operating system out there. So this is a web browser. Also, DranXperT comes with free unlicensed DranView XP software for the analysis and reporting. So in general, you configure the instrument for your measurements. You start recording. Ultimately, you take the data or copy the data off of the instrument to your computer, your laptop or your PC, and then run DranView XP or even DranView Pro and Enterprise to go do your analysis and reporting. However, again, DranView XP is at no charge. It is free. It's a free download from our website. It is not included with the meter, but go to dranits.com, the firmware update and software update page, and you can download DranView XP for free. So again, just as a summary, DranXperT only works with DranView XP. No other Dranits product or other product is compatible with DranView XP. However, if you own maybe our HDPQ family or some legacy products and own DranView Pro or DranView Enterprise, the latest version of DranView 7 Pro or Enterprise will also read DranXperT data. So it'll be compatible with the portable instruments and the instrumentation you presently use DranView 7 with, but also DranXperT on the updates probably since last fall. And those updates are free. So if you are a DranView 7 owner, just either do an update through DranView 7 or go to our website and download the latest DranView 7, and you get DranXperT compatibility when you purchase a DranXperT. Okay, DranXperT, one of its unique features is a 7-hour battery runtime. So if you lose power and lose mains, the instrument will record up to 7 hours on a full charge, and that is best in class. It also has automatic wiring verification, and you can see down, and this is a picture of the connection panel, which we'll cover again a little bit later, but you can see these are LEDs. There's red for channel A by default, yellow for channel B, and blue for channel C. And if there is a wiring problem, these things will blink and give you indication that something's wrong. You connected it wrong. In other words, you've wired it a single phase as a hypothetical example, but you've programmed the instrument for a 3-phase Y or delta or something that's not single phase. So it will give you indications. And oh, by the way, during the configuration, you can change the colors of the LEDs here to match your color code. Maybe you have brown, red, black, or some unique colors. During the programming of DranXperT, you can change these LEDs. They are programmable to match your colors. So in addition to all this, again, as I mentioned before, Ethernet is the primary communications of DranXperT. That's how you configure it. That's what enables the web browser interface. However, it also has USB communications, and you can just plug a jump drive into the USB port of the instrument, and it will automatically copy the last monitored file or the last recorded file to that jump drive. And when it's done, you can bring that over to your computer and then bring that into DranView XP or DranView Pro or Enterprise. Even though this is primarily a portable product, it supports Modbus. In fact, we have part of our demonstration on DranSCADA that we mentioned is a Modbus interface from DranXperT to DranSCADA in our building here. And it also supports BACnet, and these are included in the base versions at no additional charge. And as I mentioned, they are both UL and CE compliant instruments. So we do build for safety, and we, of course, test for safety and have those certifications, which should be available on our website for download, or you can just contact us. So the applications of DranXperT, and really you can make this generic and say any power survey or energy uses application that's out there. I mean, there really doesn't have to be any name to it. If you need to measure 50 or 60 hertz electrical power, DranXperT is probably a very good tool for you. However, some of the most common applications we have out there, and a very popular one certainly in the United States, is NEC 220.87 surveys. That's our national electric code for those of you outside of the United States. And we have an application on that. You can check out the DranXperT page to get a link to that. And basically that's for power expansions. You need to either demonstrate a year's worth of capacity and loading just to prove that you have the capacity in your system for the expansion, or you have the option for a 30-day power survey, a month-long power survey. And DranXperT is an ideal tool for that power survey. But also being a little more generic, you have just energy audits. demand side management, if you're into those sort of programs, and a very rudimentary and PQ basic power quality survey. Check metering, DranXperT is an extremely accurate device, which is very appropriate for check metering. Sub-metering, tenant metering, alternative energy production, and DER, or distributed energy resource applications. So look at the flow of the energy in parallel with the fixed metering that you may have to kind of get an idea of what your production rate is, or if you are producing electricity. Energy cost allocations, load profiling, power factor studies, residential applications, maybe even for some low-end basic PQ detection. If you don't have the opportunity to have a more advanced power quality analyzer, it's a very good way to see if you have RMS power quality problems in any application. So you can see it's a very, very broad-based line of applications for DranXperT. So industries, and again, very much like applications, it's really not honed down to any particular industry that it's compatible with, but a lot of them include, the most common ones include utility, commercial, industrial, manufacturing. Electrical contractors is a very big industry, because those are the people you contract with to do such surveys if you don't have these capabilities in-house. Property management and real estate, there's a lot of the energy requirements on verifying that meters are working correctly and things, and billing is done correctly. And then various industry applications, petrochemical, hospital and healthcare, rental companies can rent these instruments, and many, many more. So there's a whole slew of applications for DranXperT.